Hi, and welcome to this Surfray sponsored webinar on Search Analytics in SharePoint 2010. My name is Robert Piddocke. I am co-author of Pro SharePoint 2010 Search. I'm also working on a search book about fast search for SharePoint, which is due out in January or February. And I have been working with search in general for a little bit over a decade now. I'll be presenting today a little bit on what makes search good, some theory about search, and dig into search analytics in SharePoint 2010. My goal here is also to show you what you can do with those search analytics to make search in SharePoint 2010 a lot better, very quickly and very easily. So let's just get started. So what is good search? There is a basic challenge we have with finding information. And your search engine in SharePoint is really one of the few interactive tools that we have. People will go there very candidly, ask for the information that they want or that they need in order to do their job. And you really need to contrast between browsing for information, clicking around document libraries, lists and things, and actually directly asking for that information in the search box. Most people look at the search box as kind of a black box, that it just does what it does. But it is really quite effective and easy to look at what search is doing and how it's performing and how it's delivering content to people and respond to that by opening that dialogue that people are asking for and returning information to people that they actually want or that is appropriate for your organization. One thing that's important to note is that we've all heard users say, "I just want Google search. Can you just make it work like Google?" And this is very interesting, and it's largely based on a misconception from users that the type of expectations they have of Google are the same as the expectations they have of your SharePoint search or your portal search or collaboration portals search engine. And there's really a different interaction going on with the two, which is why, for very good reason, SharePoint search and search engines and enterprises are drastically different. They work on different algorithms, they deliver things in a different way, they have different sets of tools that users can find to find that information. And that reason is largely that when people are searching on a global search engine, they're looking for one item in hundreds of thousands. And they're not really that picky of which item they get back as long as it somewhat matches their query. If I'm looking for new shoes, I may type in men's shoes into Google, and I'll get back hundreds of thousands of hits for that. Of course, I can only see up to 1,000 if I scroll, but that really doesn't matter. Within the first couple pages, I'm going to get tons of results which are great for what I'm looking for. On the other hand, when you're looking in enterprise search solution like SharePoint search, you really want to get that one specific item you know exists, matches your query, and is going to help you do your job. This could be even something that you created yourself. I often create documents, I store them on a file share in SharePoint, wherever in my mail, even sometimes I'll send it to someone, I want to go back and get it. Going back and finding that document in order to repurpose it, although I didn't think about it the first time, can be very important to save myself a lot of time. So those are two different expectations, and that's why SharePoint search works differently than something like, say, Google search. Documents, and this is true for all documents, usually have a meaning or a purpose. That means that somebody has created it for some direct purpose, whether my colleagues or my boss say to me, would you create a document about so-and-so or such and such for us to understand that concept as well. Or I decide myself that this is a really important topic, or we have a project or something that we want to develop this document for. There's a meaning there, a reason for that document to be created, and we match themes that we are putting into those documents, the ideas behind those documents, with the terms that we think, or maybe that are dictated to us by a corporation or by our corporate policy, that we think are going to match that theme. So we're actually putting the terms that we think should be about that topic into the document. Now, the users, on the other hand, and other people that are looking for that document, maybe don't have the same idea of which terms would match that theme as us. Or maybe they're looking for something similar to what we're writing, but not exactly, or many different kinds of variations there. And they will search for other terms. Maybe they'll make spelling mistakes, maybe they'll use other synonyms for what we're talking about, or just something really similar. And this is where there's a big disconnect between what authors are creating and what our users are searching for. And this is a disconnect that is surfaced in your search engine. Biggest problem with this disconnect is that most people who run a SharePoint site or any kind of enterprise search product don't spend much time monitoring that disconnect and reacting to it. So this is exactly why we want to look at the SharePoint search analytics, is to look at what's going on, where those disconnects are, and then do something with it. There are 4 basic behaviors of search users. The first one is that users will come in and they'll do a search. They will get a result list. They'll look in the result list, eye one of the results as being what they want, click on it, and get the document they're looking for, or get one that is useful enough for them to go and open and action, edit, do whatever with it that they need to do in order to get to be successful. This is considered a successful search. Next, we have a partial success. And this is where users go in, they search, they look at the result list. One of the results looks attractive, so they click on it, but it wasn't the right one. So they go back, click on another one, do another search, paginate, abandon the search, do something else. This is partially successful. We were successful insofar as we got them to some results, but they weren't the right results, and we could see that from their behavior. Then there's unsuccessful with results. We're getting into the more dire consequences here, the more dire situations where the search engine just stops working for users, that is. So people search, they get a result list, but they don't click anything because nothing looks appropriate. Maybe they do some refinement, they search again, they navigate, they abandon search. The final, and the most serious, is no results, where people search for something and they get no results back. So these are the 4 basic behaviors, and these are the behaviors that we can see in Search Analytics, and I'll show you a little bit in the actual analytics in SharePoint. Another thing that's interesting to think about as well, when we think about what to do with our analytics, is how long the tail is. I'm sure you've all heard about Chris Anderson's long tail and how it applies to websites like Amazon.com and the search engines there. And the idea behind the long tail is that more people are actually looking for unique items than they are looking for the most popular items. So for example, on Amazon, more people are looking for the 19th century book on beekeeping than and individual other titles than people are looking for Dan Brown's books or Harry Potter or something like that. So the idea is that the beekeeping book is just one person, and another person is looking for another obscure book, and all of those individuals who are looking for one single book, like those obscure books, add up to more than all of the people who are searching for these other popular books. Well, your enterprise search is going to be a contrast to this. You're not going to see a long tail. You're actually going to see what I would call a fat head. You've got a few terms that by far and most, because your jargon, your vocabulary, and your organization is limited, are going to be the most popular, and they're going to be consistently the most popular terms. There will be a trailing tail, but it will not be long in any sense of the term. So you'll see this in your search analytics if you look at it, that there'll be like 10, 20, 30 terms which people are consistently and constantly looking for. And that makes it very easy for us as enterprise administrators to go in and fix those problems, because there's only 20 to 50 items that we actually have to action on in the search analytics. So what other problems do we see in search engines? Well, search often doesn't work for these reasons, and I would like to say that I'm not going to address how to fix all of these problems, but you can look at our other webinars on surfray.com to get some ideas of what to do to improve search around these other areas. So one of the biggest failure points, and it's the old computer adage, garbage in, garbage out. If you fill your search index with all sorts of useless content across file shares and legacy systems and all sorts of content that maybe we don't need, people are just going to find that, and they're going to get noise back. And that noise can often pollute search results and make it difficult for people to find things. Useless content, duplicate content, and irrelevant content that consistently appears at the top of the search results can really cause a lot of problems for search engines. You can do a lot to fix that, improving metadata, removing garbage from the site, doing other stuff. Like I said, we have a lot of webinars about that. But one of the easiest things we can do is just to monitor the search analytics, find out what terms people are searching for, and get that top document that we know is the right document to the top for those users. And I'll show you how to do that. So that's exactly what we want to do. We're going to look at the site collection web reports in SharePoint. And we're going to do that, or you should do that, quite consistently over the first few months that you're going to start analyzing search analytics in SharePoint. Make 20 to 50 best bets. I'll show you how to do that. And then check them monthly and adjust them as you see the behavior that is affecting these. Of course, also improve titles and descriptions, add metadata, do all of those other things that make search work better that we have webinars for. But use your analytics to get your real easy wins. So, how do you do that? Analytics in SharePoint 2010 are out of the box. They're really easy to use. 3 steps to get to the reports. One is go to Site Settings. Next is click on the Site Collection Web Analytics Reports in the Site Actions menu. And then click on some of the reports that appear on the left menu. I would say that your failed queries page is going to be your best friend for improving search in the short term. Look there, you can see what things you really need to action in the most immediate future. So let's jump over to my live environment and we'll have a look at exactly how to do that, and I'll talk a little bit more about best practices. So go to Site Settings here, and over here is the Site Actions, Site Collection Web Analytics Reports, and over here is our search analytics pages. We can actually see a lot of other analytics here that I won't cover. Sometimes if we click on the top queries and the number of queries, it can be nice to compare that to some of the other statistics like visitors and top pages that are coming, just to see if there's a measurable relationship to how many people are coming in and how many are actually searching. If there's too few people searching compared to the visitors, maybe you need to do something with the search, or maybe they just have really good navigation. If there's too many, then maybe you should improve the quality on your landing pages that people are coming in to see. So you can see the number of queries and which dates and are getting each one of those queries. I don't have a lot of data in here. In your site you should have a lot more data, and it should make a lot more sense to you. You can also see the top queries, most popular things. This is interesting. You can go into the search engine and search for that as well and see what people are getting back. Is that the right response to those pages, or to those queries, sorry? And then you can see the failed queries. You can both see the number of queries for each one of those things, the top failed queries, but you can also see what kind of failed query it is. And there are 2 behaviors, the last 2 that I showed you, that are represented here. One is the ones that return no results, which is the most serious. We've got to do something about that. Why is this content that people are expecting to be on my site not on my site? And the second is the ones with a high abandonment rate. And this is basically that unsuccessful with results behavior, where people go in, they search, they get results back, but they don't click anything. What's wrong with that content? Why are they not clicking any of those results? So so absolutely do something with those as well. Now before I go on to the other reports, I just want to tell you what you should do with these. And each one of these in this top list really deserves some kind of action, unless it's, there is a really long tail and you see 11111 on here. Uh, and that is, go to the search keywords. You can get to search keywords from the site settings page or here directly from this search analytics page. And you click on that, and then you can create what is known as a best bet. Now, a best bet is a promoted page. So at the top of the result page, you're going to get, and I actually can show you that here because I think it is useful. You're going to get that at the top of your result page. I think I have best bet on this page that I can show you. If not, I'll just show you the place where these best bets come in. Here, yes, this is a best bet. And this is just a promoted result. So immediately at the top of the page, in this sweet spot for the results, I get to see what my idea is of the best hit is. And this is completely outside of the organic search results. So I can promote this completely by myself. So to make a new keyword here, oh yes, I can see I have my best bet here. To make a new keyword or best bet, you need to add a keyword. So you need to find what term it is you want to add. Put in that phrase. So I want to search and put eagle, and then go down. You can put synonyms for other things that will trigger this as well, and click Add Best Bet. You can also do a definition for this keyword, which will appear, and you can also do a definition for your best bet. The best bet really consists of a URL where you want to take these people to, a title for that best bet, and a short description of the best bet. So that'll appear there. What I would like to do for my eagle best bet is I would like to get people Eagle Piggle's page, because I can't find eagle if I do that. So here's Eagle Piggle's page. And I'll grab the URL for that. And I'll put that here. I don't know if this is the best URL for this particular one because it's got some redirections in it, but we can leave it like that. I'll give it a nice title because I want people to know that I have to get there. And I'll give it a little direction, or a description, sorry. Looking for Eagle Piggle. This is his page. Click now for more eagle and more piggle. So a catchy little description there, and I'll add that. So now if people search for eagle, they're going to get this here. And I can actually put in multiple best bets, and I can put the order that they're going to appear in for that particular query. So that's good. I can also do publishing information, so I can decide when it's going to stop and when it's going to start, which is also very useful if you have campaigns around best bets and time-sensitive information. So now I've got two here. I can go back to my search. And you don't even have to recrawl for these to get active there. It's totally UI based, so I've immediately got my best bet here, and that's a really quick and fast thing to do. So once I'm looking at the analytics, I can start to make best bets for each one of these as they come along. So I might want to make one for SPC 11 and all the top ones really, until I really start to get to a point where it's only one obvious a one-off type of a search. And that's really the best way to action these, because like I said, there's really going to be a fat head in your search queries. I think you can see that if you open up your search analytics in SharePoint now. Write me if it's different, because I'd really like to know the cases where this doesn't work. I'll just look over some of the other reports before we wrap up. There's a best bet usage. This is really quite useful. I don't have any data in here, but once you've put in your 50 best bets or 20 best bets, you can actually come here and see which ones of these are being actioned on. So are the best bets that you made actually helping people? One thing that I forgot to say, and I should say about the best bets, is if you don't know why people are searching for those terms and what page or which documents are the right documents to return for those queries, go and ask the users. Really, we need to get a dialogue going here, and somebody knows what the right content is. Maybe your administrator of the site, maybe the users who are actually doing the search. They know why they had that behavior. Go and ask them. Also, you can get best bet suggestions. So SharePoint, I don't have any data in here again. Sorry for that, but you might have, in your case, you need a certain amount of data and a certain amount of activity for the best bet suggestions to work. So please have a look there and see if there are any suggestions already, and you can automatically make quick best bets based on what SharePoint suggestions are. Okay, I'll just jump back out to my presentation. And that's it. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to send them to me. Please feel free also to add me to Twitter if you would like to send me questions about SharePoint Search in general, suggestions for more webinars. So you can also send us mail as well. Please do check out surfray.com. As I mentioned, we've got lots of great webinars on there. We've got an excellent product that enhances SharePoint Search and gives visualization for search. Also a fast management product. Lots of stuff. Please come and check it out. Thanks very much for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed the webinar.